Hello guys, this is episode 1 of my Idle Game Maker series. So, in this series, you will learn how to make an idle or clicker game using Idle Game Maker. Now, the requirements to making an idle game using Idle Game Maker are Pastebin, which you'll need an account for. It would be very helpful to have an account. You'll need a text editor like Google Docs or Notepad. And if you need any guidance for an element I did not cover, then I'll give you the link in the description for the help page on Idle Game Maker. So, the most important part is knowing how to play the game. So you'll need to use this link starter right here and put it at the beginning of your link like this, and it'll be in the description too. And then you put your Pastebin identifier next to the G equals. So let's get started. So to begin coding your idle game, you'll need to start off with let's make a game in your text file like this. Nothing else but just let's make a game, and then you can press return. Now it'd be useful to have tabs to make it more understandable to read rather than having like this. That would be super confusing, so it would be helpful and cleaner to press the tab key inside each section. So under this section, you'll want to have these settings. So the name of your game, the author of the game, you can either use author or by, and then the description of your game. This doesn't work anymore because Ortul, which is the person who made Idle Game Maker, just shut off their forum page. So there's then the created page, the updated, and the version. So let's just put name. Let's just do clicker. Or how about we do fruit clicker. And then our description will be click fruit and how about click fruit in this game I made. So you're obviously not going to put that as your description, but you could use the same idea for your game. And it would be very useful. So if your mind goes blank, you could have an idea page. So just like a section for buildings and upgrades. We'll talk about those later in probably episode 2. So this doesn't have to be exact. These parts do not need to be this exact. Click fruit in this game I made. It can be whatever you want. These parts are required. And make sure you have formatting, or else it won't be able to read and you'll get an error message. So we have name, description. What else do we need? We need the author. So we can just do Redwood Steve. And then let's just do version 1. Okay, so that's the first section, the crucial section. Now, the second part is settings. For this section, you'll design the settings of your game. Now, to start this section, you'll need to type in settings. So there's background, and then the direct image link of your URL, and then there's I can't read that, but that's just, you can check that out. I'm not going to use it. It's super weird. And then the building cost increase, I'd recommend it to be 115%, because this is how much increase the cost gets when you buy something. So this is, if you haven't played Cookie Clicker, then you should check it out right now, and you'll know that the cost increases. So that's how you change that. Then there's the building cost refund, which I'm not sure if that much people uses. So this is how much cash you get back for selling a building. The default value is 50%. I like using 75%. So then this is crucial if you want to have images in your game, like little icons for your buildings and your upgrades, then you will have this. So this is just the name of the sprite sheet. This is how much pixels by how much pixels you want each icon to be, and then that's the URL, that direct image link of your sprite sheet. And then that's the style sheet, which is the CSS of your game, but you do not need to do that because there's actually a separate section for that, which is actually pretty complicated. There are some examples that I will definitely post in the comments or pin to the comments, and then, well, the description. And then we have no particles, which will be, so this will prevent particles from like clicking stuff or buying stuff or selling. They will not be shown. And then bulk particles is when you're changing the bulk buy amount, which is if you want to buy 1 or if you want to buy 50, which I'm not going to use any of these settings. So let's head back to this, and I'm just going to do building cost increase and refund. So we do building cost increase, we do 115%. Building cost refund 75%. So we have that, and then we don't define the sprite sheet yet, because if we do and we just name the sprite sheet, define the pixels, but we don't have a URL, or if we just leave this section blank, it'll give you an error message. So we're not going to define that yet. And so that's all we're going to do for the settings section. And for our next section, we're gonna just do a quick summary for the CSS. I'm not gonna do that much, but yeah, let's learn about the CSS. Okay, so currently we should be in the CSS section of making a game. Now this is the cascading style sheet, which I bet if there are any experienced website builders or coders out there, you'd probably know how to use this. So you can just click this link in the help page if you want to learn more about CSS and how it works. So in this case, there are some examples which I'm obviously going to use. So to start a section, we just do CSS and hit Tab. So this is setting the background color, the font, and the text color, which I really like cauliflower blue. So we're just going to do that. And then we're gonna, so that, I'm not gonna do that, or we're not gonna do that. So this is very useful because you can blur things out that you don't own. So we're just gonna leave out the CSS part because we already defined that. So we're gonna copy that, we're gonna paste it. Don't actually, just do this if you don't really know how to code CSS. I won't recommend doing it if you're making an actual website, because technically that would be stealing. But anyways, they never said anything about stealing stuff. So we have complete permission of copying their stuff down. So we can always just change how much pixels the blur is. So like 1 pixel would be a slight blur, whereas 10 would be like entirely blurred out in eyesore. So I'm just gonna do like 5 pixels because like you won't be able to see the name or stuff, so it'll be a nice fun surprise for the players of your game to see what all the buildings and upgrades are. So we're just gonna delete the can't afford definition word in here, keyword in here, because I just want to be not owned, so stuff that is not owned. So right now, we're just gonna do can't afford. No. So that's gonna be our CSS section. Now you can just personalize your game fully copying these little CSS snippets, which I will probably put in the description. I might not because of how long they are. But anyways, so that is how you design the CSS of your game. And just another reminder, if you already defined this section from CSS, do not copy this part, just copy this part. So I'll meet you on the layout section, which, actually no, I'll meet you at the next section. That's not layout. Anyways guys, thank you all for watching this video, and I hope you learned some stuff about Idle Game Maker, and I hope you make a good game using Idle Game Maker. So I'll see you in episode 2. Bye.